I'm going to do something I've never done before, and that is to create a capsule collection of sorts. Although mine will not be rigid, it will be very go with the flow, relaxed style. And I've chosen a beautiful color palette that I love, and I'm going to be sharing with you my plans. This is a precious fabric I've been hoarding for over 10 years, and I'll be using it in this collection. Stay with me. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpitsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing. Thank you for your wonderful feedback on my fabric haul, my latest video. I think a lot of you enjoyed the fabric. Today I want to share with you my plans. I had mentioned in the previous video that there was a new book. That is a new book by Kennis Wong. She is the owner of Itch to Stitch, and her book has just been released for pre-order, and it's called So Beautiful, Make Stylish Handmade Clothing with Simple Stitch and Wear Patterns. I have the book as an ebook right now. A group of us that participated in pattern testing and were happy to sew up samples were given this book, and Kennis will actually mail me the physical copy when it's available in the first week of December. I've never had a sewing book before full of patterns. I've always wanted to have one. I'm very glad to be having my first ever book soon when it gets to me. Also going to do for the first time is attempting to do a sort of capsule collection of sorts, and actually I found it quite time consuming and a little bit exhausting trying to put all the fabrics together and the patterns. I think it can be a really exhausting way to sew, at least for my style of sewing, where I just like to have a lot of freedom and just look at a pattern and be inspired by any fabric. And I don't really think about whether my items go together or not, but I've had time to actually plan this one. I have changed things around, and it was really hard for me to choose a color palette. I was leaning towards a green focused sort of color palette, and then I ended up settling on a purple one. I've been wanting to sew up my purple fabrics for ages. It's a color that I really like, and it's really hard to find fabrics in the right tone. It's just hard to find purple fabric for some reason. It's been hard for me, at least. Actually, I have only one knit fabric here, Ponte Roma. All the other purple ones are wovens, and then I'm mixing and matching with other tones, and I've settled on a color palette that's going to be purple, gray, black and white. And when I look at this, I know all of this will go together. If I have all these garments sewn up and go somewhere for like a weekend, I could just be dressed up in purple, gray, black and white, and who cares? I know a lot of capsule collections use really neutral gray things, and I'm just not into those colors. I do need some sort of strong color in there, and that is what I've chosen as purple. I have, of course, given myself the total freedom of sewing up anything that does not go with this color palette, as long as it goes with one or two garments in here. And I'll just leave those open. I won't share them as plans. And when I share the videos of each of the patterns in this book, you might see a sneaky one that is not in this color palette, and that's just to keep me entertained and just have that freedom of just sewing whatever I want, because that's the way I really like to sew. As a general overview, the sizing available for each of these patterns is a 00 to a 20 US. All the patterns were prepared last year during 2019. So at the moment, the new size range that goes up to a size 40 US wasn't in effect yet. These patterns don't have cup sizes. They've been drafted for a B, C cup size, but these styles aren't really sensitive to needing a full bust adjustment. From what I've seen with other ladies testing these patterns that have larger cup sizes, they seem to be okay. For all of the patterns, I've chosen a size 14. That is my size right now with Itch to Stitch. So every single pattern, the 8 of them, they are all size 14s. I anticipate having to make length adjustments on some of them, maybe some sleeves, on skirts. Those are adjustments that I know I have to make because I'm a little bit taller than what the patterns are drafted for. But otherwise, I don't anticipate huge fitting adjustments because all these patterns are simple to sew and are simple to fit because of their styles. And you'll see why when I show you the line art and all of that. You know, none of these patterns are complex, and you know, if you are new to sewing, you will be perfectly fine, and all the instructions are beautiful. Just like Itch to Stitch patterns, every step has a diagram that is super well explained with words and plus the visuals. So I think these patterns are super easy to follow. From these 8 patterns, you can get about 18 variations or more because these patterns don't just have one view, they have multiple views. You can mix and match. So it's amazing value for the price of this book, all the sewing you can get done. I will share with you the patterns in the book just very generally and the fabrics I've chosen, because each of these patterns will have their own little video. I already know and have planned what sewing aspects I want to highlight in each of these garments so that each of these videos brings value to you. So I'll start with the Mornington top and dress. I love this one. I actually made my first version probably almost a year ago, because I have been involved with pattern testing this book months ago. This process started over a year ago. It's designed for lightweight woven fabrics. It's a shift style type dress that is relaxed fitting at the bust, waist and hips. The skirt is slightly A-lined. It's fully lined. It has a V-neck that is super easy to do because of the lining fabric. The technique is extremely easy. The interesting feature that I love here are those really wide ties that end up in a point, so it's not a rectangle. Those get sewn onto the side seams and you can tie them up at the front. However fitted or loose you want the style to look on yourself. You can make it either sleeveless or with a flared sleeve. My plans are always the sleeveless ones. The sleeveless versions are just my thing. I like being sleeveless and I enjoy sewing them. Although if you want to have a sleeve, there's a beautiful sleeve there as well for you to add on. I plan on making 2 dresses and 1 top. This is a chiffon fabric. It's very transparent. It's got purple, black, white and grey, some little shine on it. It's a crinkle chiffon, very lightweight, and it'll be perfect for this dress. I have enough so that this can be lined with the same fabric, so self-lined, and it'll hit above my knee. So excited about that one. I love the print and I love the colors in this print, and it will just be a beautiful dress. The other one is a bubble crepe, and I'm making this one a little bit different because this one won't be lined, and this is going to be a sewing technique opportunity for me to show you that I haven't shown and that I have said I will show. This one won't be lined. I will still do the V neckline, but I will do that V neckline binding technique and film it for you so you can see how it's done. Bubble crepe that seems like tie-dye, but it's not. Black, white and grey. Really liking these tones of black, white and grey, and I will have some solid colors in this collection that are purple that will go with these. Actually, these will go with anything because they're black and white. I can also pair them with other solid garments in my wardrobe as well. The other one I want to make, this will just be a top, it won't be a dress, is this satin back crepe. So beautiful. I mean, this style is a simple style, I find, the design, and it'll just look so beautiful with this color purple. And I'll be showing you how this lining happens. It is so easy. You will want to do this on all of your dresses. It's very easy and it's very clean. It's very, very nice. Then we have a type of layering piece that can be whatever you want it to be. And I really have a hard time pronouncing it. It's a Taktsang Dolman. So this is a type of cover-up that could be made with woven fabric or knit fabric. And whatever fabric you sort of choose will be the different look it will have. So it could be a jacket, it could be a cardigan, it could be a wrap top, however you want it to be. It's got really easy to sew integrated 3/4 length sleeves. So it's Dolman sleeves, it's all in the one piece, but it's long down to there. That means that it takes up a little bit extra fabric on the width. And it's really simple, easy to sew. It has a center back seam. The neckline is finished with facings. There are little belt loops that you put on the sides and on the center back. And there's a fabric sash that you can make with your own fabric, or you can use another belt if you want. So depending on the type of fabric you use, whether this can look like a cardigan if you make it out of a sweater knit, or a jacket if you use a more structured woven. I wouldn't go too heavy on the woven. And it could be a type of wrap top or like beach cover up if you made it out of chiffon. If you made it out of a silk satin, it could be like a really fancy robe for the house. I don't know, you can do whatever you want. Whatever you want the look to be, you can do that with the fabric that you choose. So my option here has been a crinkle crepe with embroidery. It's black. It is a beautiful fabric. I've brought this with me from Chile this summer. This is the right side of the fabric. So it is sheer and it has those embroidery details. You can see the crinkleness of it. You wouldn't want to press this too much so it loses that sort of feature of the fabric. You can see me through it. So the way I want this to be done is the simplest way possible. I'm not going to be using the facings of the pattern for this. I'm going to be binding the neckline. I'm going to be showing you how I stabilize that. I'm not doing the dolman sleeves long. I will be shortening them to be above my elbow at least. I'll get much more wear out of that. When you shorten dolman sleeves, you have to true that new hem you're going to have. So I'll also share how I'm going to do that. And I'm really tempted to just leave it like a little wrap and not have the sash or the belt loops or anything. Just something light and sheer that's got some embroidery, some interest to put over some of these garments that I'm making and any other thing I have in my wardrobe. So that is my plan for this pattern. Very simple, very laid back to what it can be or the potential that it has. I might end up making another one in a knit. I am still thinking about that, but for now that is my definite plan. With this black fabric, it'll just go with everything. And look, I'm not that experienced in capsule collections, so I am relying on the classic black pieces here and there because I like black. I like having things in black, and I've been trying to make something in black with wovens and knits in different styles, so it'll be good. It'll work for me. The bias tape I'm going to use to finish the neckline on my version is going to be made with the same fabric, so it will look beautiful, I promise. The Prague top and dress is for knit fabric, so we're going into the comfy areas right now. I'll just show you some wovens. And this has a cold shoulder. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about the cold shoulder, and it seems to be a style that does not go away. I have been using and wearing and seeing people wear this for a lot of years already, and I personally like the cold shoulder. I think every one of us has a nice shoulder that we can show. I live in hot climate, so I have no issues in having my shoulders bare. For this one, you can choose whether you want a top or a dress. They are semi-fitted at the bust and then flare out swing style at the hips. It's quite roomy there at the waist and hips. You can choose a short or a long sleeve with the cold shoulder. And the shoulder here is finished with bands. And on the neckline, you can choose a scoop neckline that has a neckband or a V neckline that has a V neckband. So those are the options there. And for the short sleeve option, I've chosen this double brush poly that is grey and white. It's a darker type grey with thin white stripes. I think it's a type of stripe I like, and I will try and do some stripe play with it as well. For the dress, because I also want a dress, I'm going to use basic rayon spandex. So I have a chunk of rayon spandex I will use to make the dress. And to add some interest, I'm going to use this leather look jersey. I've got a little bit left. I've been using this for a multitude of projects for bindings and things, sort of like what I've done here. I'll do the neckband out of this, maybe add something to the hem so that the dress has some interest and it's not just a simple black dress. It'll be so comfortable. I can imagine wearing this and just feeling great with my cold shoulder because I do like it. And I'm also toying with the idea and experimenting with the sleeve pattern piece, how you can fill in that gap that creates the cold shoulder to just have a regular sleeve. I know a lot of you would like to have this type of design with a regular sleeve and not with the piece that's missing there. So I'm sure that can be done. If I can figure it out, I will share that with you as well. The Carlsband Cardigan is a really easy to sew cardigan designed for knit fabrics, and it's meant to hit sort of the full hip. The look on the front is draped like a waterfall, and on all these corners in the front neckline there are mitered corners. Super clean, super neat, and super fun to sew. At the back on the collar, the type of construction is like doing a short collar, although it doesn't look like that. That's the way it's finished in there. Super interesting to sew. I have already filmed all the steps for this cardigan, so I think you'll really enjoy sewing up this one. And there are shorten and lengthen lines for you to be able to make it longer or shorter. You can use a really lightweight knit and the cardigan will just drape and look longer than if you do it with a little bit more structured knit. So I'll show you this one that looks like a herringbone. Look, I have no idea. I found this one here locally, and I was very happy to find it. I would say it's a type sweater knit made out of cotton. I know it is cotton for a fact. Very loosely woven. The thing with this cardigan, because of the way it drapes on the front, you will be able to see the wrong side of the fabric. So whatever knit you want to use, you need to also like the wrong side because it will be seen. And the wrong side of this fabric is equally nice, I find. So if this drapes and you can see it like this, I'll be perfectly happy with that. And this is a type of cardigan that is just going to be a classic black and white herringbone type. I can wear any color, anything underneath, red, purple, whatever solid color, it'll go with it. And of course it'll go with the things that I'm showing you here with purple. I also have this super special Ponte Roma. I have traveled with this one from Bolivia. It's one of the last fabrics I found over there. I found a really nice shop in the city of Cochabamba where they actually had Ponte Roma, very good quality, and I brought some along with me. I think I have a royal blue left, and the purple, those were the last ones that I had. And it's so nice, it's so beautiful. I'm sure I'm not going to have enough to make the long sleeve version. I will have enough to make the sleeveless version, because you can make the Carlsband in a full length sleeve or a sleeveless. Sleeveless will be super practical for me and will get the most wear for all seasons, because if I have something that's long sleeve, I can still use a sleeveless cardigan on top and it'll still look cool. So that will most definitely be a sleeveless one. I hope you can picture how all these things are going to go together, because I can see them all here and I can just see them all going together. Okay, now we have some pants. These are called Fortuna Joggers, and you have two types of pants in this pattern. One is a tapered leg classic style jogger type, and the other one is a wide leg. For the jogger, you have these front slash pockets that have woven details. And I want to play with the woven details. You'll see my fabric choices. I want to add either black linen as the woven accent or some black denim as the woven accent. I think that would look really cool. The wide leg version doesn't have front pockets. It just has patch pockets at the back. Both of them have patch pockets. And there's also a shorts version. It has a very short inseam, about 4 inches. So if I wanted to make the shorts version, I would have to probably lengthen 3 or 4 inches for my height and for my preference, you know, because they're really short shorts. There's a lot of people that like short shorts, but I just can't pull them off anymore. I used to wear the shortest shorts possible in my teens, but I'm in my 40s now. So for the joggers, I've shown this fabric the other day. It's a mystery type knit. It feels really nice on. I'm sure there's some polyamide and viscose component in here, but look at this. This is going to be super nice. It's a structured knit. It has a nice amount of stretch that's required for this pattern. And I want to make the jogger version with a tapered leg, but just with a normal hem. I don't want to do anything special with the hem of the joggers. I just want them to be like normal pants. So that's exciting. I think this will go with everything in my wardrobe and with the purple things I'm making in this collection. Whenever I make wide leg pants, be it knit or woven, I always want to have a fabric that drapes amazingly and that is not that heavyweight. I don't want them to be that lightweight either. And I found the perfect fabric online the other day, and I didn't show it in my haul because it's just really boring black. This is a French terry, but it's made out of rayon. So in the composition, it said rayon 90%, spandex 10%, which means it has a lot of recovery. It has better recovery than rayon spandex. Other types that I've shown you that are really lightweight and only have 5% spandex. This is bottom weight for sure. There you can see the back of it. Has that texture and that type of weave. And then on the other side, it's just smooth and solid. And it's very stretchy. It recovers amazingly. I think the wide leg Fortuna pants will be perfect in this. And I'll make them in a way that they could look not that sporty, that I could wear them with nice boots or with sandals with heels in some way. I want them to be a little bit dressy. So that's why I'm toying with the idea of adding some linen accents in there. I think that will help with the look that I have for them. I'm excited about these. These hit mid-rise as a design feature, and I'm sure I'm going to need to lengthen the rise a little bit. Not exactly measuring the way I would with woven pants. So I will make a non-wearable muslin of these for sure before I cut into these two fabrics, because I'm sure I'm not going to have to lengthen all the amount that I think I need to lengthen because of the vertical stretch in this fabric too that's accounted for in the drafting of these joggers and wide leg pants. They have an elastic waistband with a drawstring, some little grommets where the drawstring goes through. If you don't have grommets, I'm sure you can do little buttonholes. I will be showing you the interesting bits of the sewing of these too. So I'm excited about those pants. Pants are always exciting for me for some reason. I really enjoy them. The Castlepoint skirt is for woven fabric, light to medium weight. I wouldn't go heavyweight basically because this is a fake wrap skirt. You have 2 layers that cross over in the front with a curve. That curve is meant to hit above one of the knees, and the total length of the skirt can be short or long. It's a flat front, elasticated back, pull-on type, so super easy to pull up and down. There's no zippers or anything like that. And I've decided I have to stop hoarding my favorite fabric. This is really precious fabric to me. I brought it from New Zealand. I've probably had it since about 2010, and I've had it on my cutting table so many times, and then I'm like, no, I can't do it. But I'm just gonna cut it up and make a skirt because I know I'm gonna love it. And just look at this. This is a rayon, but it's a rayon jacquard type fabric, and it's got some silver threads weaved into there, and it's got some paisley print with purple, grey and black. And the wrong side of the fabric here is really pretty too. Because it's a wrap skirt, you can see the wrong side of the fabric sort of when you walk around the hem at the back. So you do need to make sure that you like both sides, and it's the case with this one. I'm really excited about cutting into this fabric that I've had for so long. I think it's one of the prettiest fabrics I've been holding in my stash. So I'm excited for it to actually become a garment and stop being so precious about it, you know? Anything from New Zealand is precious to me. Just so many memories from being there, and just one of the best periods I've had of my life. I've lived in so many places, but that was one of the best. The other Castlepoint skirt I want to make is just going to be a workhorse. I have a lightweight denim, and it's just a grey, sort of light black, dark grey type denim. I have plenty of denim skirts, but I just love making them. I love sewing them. I love wearing them. And having one in this style, I think, is something I really enjoy. Do some top stitching there. I'm gonna love it. The next pattern in the book is the one I'm mostly excited about sewing, and this is a Palermo top and dress. I'm excited because I'm going to be using chiffon. Although chiffon is not a recommended fabric, it is for woven fabrics, lightweight woven fabrics that drape really nicely. It's a peasant style type design, and depends on the fabric that you use. It could be for winter or for summer. Just depends on the fabric that you choose and the color palette, whether you can wear it with tights and boots or like with just sandals. It's a loose fitting design. There's lots of positive ease in there. There's a center front seam that has a little slit here on the neckline, and then there's long raglan sleeves. All the neckline that includes the raglan sleeve there is elasticized, and it just gathers there. And then the sleeves have a hem that's also elasticized, another gathering bit there. And then it can just be a top, just simple top that reaches the full hip, or a dress. The dress has 2 tiers, gathered tiers, and it's meant to hit below the knee. Now this is the pattern where I'll make a few changes for it to fit my lifestyle and what I like. I won't be doing long sleeve raglan sleeves. I want to do them short because it's hot, and I know anything that I make that's long sleeve doesn't really get that much wear, and I just really want them to be short. The other thing I'll do with the dress is that I'll make it a little bit shorter so that it hits above my knee and not below my knee. There is a fabric belt that you can make as well to wear with the dress if you want to, or you can just wear your own belts. So these are so purple and so beautiful. And for the top, I'm going to use a fabric I've already used for a top I've already got in a different style, also from Itch to Stitch, and it's a Shemaina's top I made a few months ago. But I want to have a raglan top, and it'll be different. And look, I don't mind having garments made with the same fabric if they're just different styles. I don't really mind. And so you've seen this already on the channel. It's a crinkle chiffon. It's black, it's purple, it's got a little bit of white in there, and it'll be a beautiful top. I just can imagine, picture it, short sleeve raglan, simple top. I'll really enjoy that. And then for the dress, this dress is going to have the 2 tiers. There's only one way I will sew a dress with gathered tiers. It's basically chiffon or a rayon. Those are the only fabrics I would want to use. A crepe maybe, just something really lightweight. I would never want gathers to stick out with a structured fabric. And it's the most beautiful purple ever. It's so beautiful. Oh, I just can imagine myself with a purple dress full of gathers. It'll be short sleeves, but it'll have the gathered skirt with the tees and everything. and it'll be sheer. I'll wear a slip underneath, but this dress I am very excited about sewing. I can't wait to sew this one and have it made up. I'm super happy that this book includes woven patterns and knit patterns because I really enjoy sewing both. I would say I enjoy sewing wovens more than I enjoy sewing knit fabrics, but I love that there's the option for all of these types of fabrics in here. And the last pattern in the book, the Orosi top and dress, is for knit fabrics. What I like about this design is the shape that the bodice has. So it'll be a little bit shorter at the center front and then go diagonally down to the side seams, so it will look like that. And I think that's a really nice look, to have a peplum attached that is gathered. I think it's less bulky and it's just a really sleek look. I really like the look of this one. I think everyone looks amazing in it. And you can do either an overlap V neckline or a really unique scarf neckline that also looks like a V. You can see the line out there. I just can't believe that design. I've never seen that before or sewn it, so I'm very excited to do that. Now I just have one fabric here to show you. I'm still pondering on other fabrics. I haven't made up my mind, and I really don't want to end up just making another black one because, you know, and I can't find another purple knit other than the Ponte, and the Ponte is not appropriate for this. So I'm going to be making the dress with the short sleeves, with the scarf neckline. Like, I don't care that it's not for winter, that it's for summer, but I just really want to sew that scarf neckline. And this is the fabric I'm going to use. It's an ITY fabric, super lightweight. The gathers will look amazing. Black and white with dots and these leaves. I can see it looking great. And you know, maybe I'll sew the dress and a top with the same fabric because I don't really mind. We shall see. But that is an overview of the patterns that are in here, not in that much detail because each of them will have their own little video. I'm aiming for daily vlogs, so this will be a series that will last about 10 days, 10 consecutive days, so it'll be really intense for me. But I'm hoping that after that I can take a week off. I have a goal of having 12 videos on the channel every month for algorithm purposes and all sorts of back-end things with YouTube. So if I can get 10 videos up, maybe I can take a week off, and that would be amazing, and I could just relax for a little bit and rest, and I really do need that. So I really hope you join in. All of these videos will be showing these, and as soon as I start having more of them made, I'll start pairing them together in the lookbooks, in the photos, and at the end you can see them all mixed up together. And I'm really excited about making a video like that because I've never done that. There is a blog post with all my plans and pictures of the fabric and my thoughts if you want to check that out as well, and also the podcast audio file that you can listen to when you're somewhere else and you don't have Wi-Fi and you can't see the video. I will see you again very soon tomorrow with the Mornington dress. Bye and happy sewing.